Hello, my name is Becky Wright, and I'm the founder of New Leaf Life Design. Big thank you to the guys at CETSAT for inviting me to speak and to offer some insights on well-being whilst working in isolation. So my theme today is going to be about coping with loneliness when working from home. Loneliness and disconnection and isolation are very common problems in remote working life. Obviously, you can also feel lonely just being in a relationship that you don't feel particularly happy in. And for some of us, we're locked in with that relationship as well. So loneliness can be with a range of issues. Obviously, most of the advice that when you read it, it'll go, oh, go outside, join a new social group. But at the moment, that's not going to be possible. So we need to think differently. We need to think of other ways to connect, really. But what is important that we don't just stare at our screens for too long. Make sure that you do take a little break and try and do some exercise or just do something to make yourself feel physically a bit better before you go back to the screen. So these are some thoughts I've got around this that I hope will help you. The first thing I'm going to suggest you do is you get some perspective. Now, it's really easy to narrow all your insights at the moment because your world has become a huge amount smaller. But actually, the irony is that your world has also become absolutely huge as well, because as big as it goes in, it also goes out as well. So helping someone gain perspective right now is going to be really, really useful. So if you can have a sounding board with someone else, that would help you a little bit to gain perspective. Sound some ideas out, think out loud with someone. Now, if you can't do that, then I'm going to suggest that you look at an image or you look at something that helps you gain perspective. So for me, I would have a look at an image of the cosmos, because the moment I see those amazing Hubble telescope images, I suddenly see this great bigger picture, and it just helps me get in perspective how I'm feeling at that particular time. So that might be useful for you. You need to turn off your notifications, because if you're living in close proximity with someone, that constant pinging noise can just drive you you just don't feel right in yourself. Constantly hearing the ping, it just gets on your nerves. So try and turn off your notifications and maybe check your emails or check your messages maybe on every quarter of the hour rather than every time they go off. And I think that would just help you concentrate as well a little bit better. Try and keep your routine, try and stick to it. So if you used to get up at a certain time, then continue to do that, because that's really useful to actually have that kind of 9 to 5 structure, or whatever your structure used to be. I would try and keep to that. And obviously at the moment, you're still allowed to go for some exercise, as in a walk or a run each day as well. So try and keep that going. Your personal space is suddenly your office space, and it's very easy, obviously, to lose your routine. But there are plenty of things like exercise videos that you can do each day. Take advantage of those if you can. And just like any other working environment, just try and build those breaks in, because you're going to need them so much. One of the things I'm noticing at the moment is people feeling like their identity is shifting. Our identity is very much wrapped up in what we do. And suddenly, when what we do is different, because we normally do what we do and then we come home, that now starts to merge. Those worlds have very, very much merged. So it's quite important that we get some feedback, that we try and set up a new feedback loop, so our sense of who we are, we can somehow maintain. So find a way, if you can, to just get a sense of who you are again. I know Scotty was talking in one of his videos about, taking some things from the office home, and I think that's a really good idea. Or I've set my desk up so that I can identify with certain things in this space which relate to my working space. So that's the way I've kind of managed that. But when you're a single parent or a sole carer, or you're someone who is trying to manage lots and lots of things, just try and get your head into work mode. And that's what I think work mode, right? So I'm going to dress in work dress, and that will get me into that work mode. It's really important that we feel more connected. So it's very easy to heavily rely on digital tools when we're working remotely, but I'm going to also suggest that you make the odd phone call so you literally feel that you're physically talking to someone rather than always looking through a screen to do that. I think that will help you. It's quite interesting. Some people are suggesting leaving voice chat open so that conversations can kind of just pipe up at any time. And what I quite like about that is, you suddenly hear someone else's dog barking, or you hear a noise in the background. You probably hear a chainsaw in the background where I am at the moment. Someone yawning. I think sometimes it just can help bring you back into connection if you're starting to feel a bit isolated and a bit disconnected. Tell someone how you're feeling. I mean, we often say what we think about, and at the moment people are talking about new ideas and that very sort of thinking part of the brain, but just ask someone how they're feeling at the moment can be incredibly important. Many businesses have mental health first aiders. That's something that we normally train up. Ask your HR department who they are. Those mental health first aiders will be able to help you access support. Your company might have an employee assistance program. If they do, you can use their phone number and make contact with them. But it's really hard to manage all the shifting that's happening, both internally and externally. So ask for help. Ask if you can have a little bit of someone's time, because the chances are that they're probably going to want a little bit of your time as well at some point. So that exchange is actually really, really important right now. So bring yourself into the here and now can be very helpful, because normally we fix dates, and that's what we do to try and develop and create certainty in our life. At the moment, we're not able to do that so much. So think about other ways that you can fix a date, and that might be a daily date with someone, like a daily phone call or something. In Somerset, we have Mind, who have extended their helpline service, so you could always ring them. Their phone number is 01823 276 892. But there's also national organisations that are available at the moment, agencies like Depression UK. So again, your mental health first aider will know the phone numbers for those, or you could look them up online. Okay, thanks so much for listening to my first recording, and I hope you found it useful.